So we all know the story of the tortoise and the hare. Well, there's a part two to the story. Let me tell you. So, decades and decades have went by, and the tortoise and the hare had gone into old age. So, the young tortoise had a son, and the young hare had a son, and then their sons had sons. And then one day, the son of the hare came up and he said, "Granddad, I think I'm ready to redeem the family name. I think I want to challenge the grandson of the tortoise who beat you so long ago." The old hare leaned back and said, "Well, son, let me tell you. I didn't do any training for it because I believed in my natural talents. And I didn't really train too hard. And when I got time for the race, I knew I could beat this tortoise because it's just natural for hares to beat tortoises on speed because we're just naturally talented that way. So then, we got into the race, and I saw that right off the bat. I had beat the tortoise. I had a long head start, and I was going, and got so far I didn't even see him. And I decided since I had plenty of time, instead of finishing up the race, I thought I'd just take a little nap. I lost my focus, son. I lost my focus. And before you knew it, I woke up, and the tortoise had done won the race, forever staying in the name of all hares around the world. And the young hare said, "Well, Granddad, it's not going to happen to me. I'm going to stay focused. I'm going to train, and I'm going to stay focused." So then, the young hare goes off and he finds the young tortoise and he challenges him to a race. And so they get into an agreement of when they're going to have the race, and the hare goes into training. See, he already has this natural talent, but then he wants to train and make his talent better, turn it into a real skill. He wants to be a championship racer. And then all his friends are like, "Dude, you got all the natural talent in the world. You don't really need to beat on your craft like that. You're going to win." But history has shown that talent alone won't get you there. So he ignored his friends and he kept on training. And then at the end of his training, when it was time for the race, he got ready for the race, and on your mark, get set, go, boom, the hare was off. The hare took off so fast and so that he left a dust trail, and the tortoise only took one step and the hare was already a quarter mile ahead. So when it got to the point where the hare couldn't even see the tortoise, he couldn't even think about the tortoise, he knew that the tortoise had no chance whatsoever, he said to himself, "I know I have this in the bag, but I got to maintain my focus." Even though people were cheering along and saying that, "Hey, you can slow down now. You don't have to go so fast. You can slow down." He ignored those people who tried to tell him to slow down. And he kept going as fast as he could till he won the race. And then he got to the finish line, and boom, he hit the finish line and he won the race. Others came to him and said, "You didn't have to work so hard. You didn't have to go so fast. Your competition was left behind. By the time you finished, he hadn't even reached the quarter-mile mark." And the hare said that it's not just a race against the tortoise, but it's a race against my history. It's a race against myself. The race is against how quickly and how fast I can get there. So the race for you is how quickly and how fast you can get there. Are you using your skill set to its utmost? Are you pushing yourself beyond what you expect? You see, it doesn't matter if you're better than everybody else around you. What matters is that every day, are you doing better than you could have done the day before? I had a client, and she told me at one point she realized she hates the fall and she hates the winter because the fall and the winter everything dies. She loves the spring and the summer because everything has life. So she became wealthy, and the whole reason for becoming wealthy was so that she can chase the spring and the summer. You see, she lives in two different places most of the year, but she's always living in the spring and the summer because all she wants to see is life and growth and rebirth. She never wants to see death. She never wants to see life slowing down. And because of that, she continues to be a creative person and develop and build a life that's ever growing. The reason why is because she surrounds herself with life growing and life abundant. Now, it's cold today. Most of us are living in winter. And we will say that we're living in winter because it's just the season that we're in. But this young lady that I used to work with, she understands that seasons are created. You can create your own season. You see, the young hare, he created his season of winning. And he continued to win for the rest of his life because he had understood, came to a realization that by working on your skill set, working on your talents, you become greater at it so that you can always be in the winner's circle. Just like my client who's always in the winner's circle because she wants to live in the spring and summer. Now, I know a lot of you are going to say there's a season for everything, and I understand where you get that from, and I respect it. But in most things in your life, you create the season for it. You create it by your decisions, but most importantly, you create it by your behavior. If you want to create spring everlasting for you, regardless of your financial situation, regardless of your marital situation, your relationship situation, your job situation, you have the power, you have it within you to create spring everlasting. Everything in your life can always be in a state of growth. And if something is not working in that format, then it is up to you to make the changes. It is up to you to replow the land. It is up to you to retill it. It is up to you to replant. It is up to you to make sure that it's growing in good soil. And that good soil is your mind. It's your mind. See, that's why the hare lost the first race, because his mind was not planted in good soil. That's why his grandson won, because his mind was planted in good soil. The reason why my client ever always sees the spring is because her mind is in good soil. You can create your season for yourself. You can't do it for anybody else, but you can certainly do it for you. So hey, keep your focus. Decide what you're going to have in your life. Decide how you're going to do it in your life, and then go after the greatness that you deserve in your life. But it's only up to, it is only for you, and only you can decide it, and only you can make it happen. So don't wait for anybody else. Don't wait for a third party to come in and all of a sudden change your life. Your life can only be changed by you and your mindset. So let's have a great day. It is always spring. It is always summer in my life. So I look forward to seeing what season you're going to be in perpetually for your life.